This is the Microsoft Surface Laptop Studio, and if we're new to another, my name is Jamie, and I'm so excited to share my experience with this laptop. I feel like it's the perfect hybrid between the Surface laptops as well as the Surface Pros, so if you yourself are torn between the two products, this one might be for you. The unboxing experience, like all Surface products, was clean, classy, and always a pleasure to open. And it felt pretty good ripping into plastic again. It's been a while. I will say that originally the box did feel a little bit heavy, but picking up the laptop for the first time, I was shocked that the heft wasn't actually from the device, but apparently from the box. Inside, you do have a manual and a 102-watt Surface charger, and that's it. The Surface is protected with this waxy, and I'm assuming environmentally friendly paper, and it does have an instant on experience. I love Windows 11, especially with the AI integrations like Windows Copilot, but getting onto your device is quick and easy. I've had bad experiences with Windows 10, but fortunately, this device does have Windows Hello, so during the initial setup, there is a quick little face scan, and then you're good to go. This, of course, is Microsoft's premium laptop, and I just love how it borrows features from the others. It has an all-aluminum build, which just feels so good to use, but what makes this guy super unique is the dynamic woven hinge that gives it 3 unique viewing angles. I won't lie, when I did first put this in studio mode, I did get a little bit nervous that I was trying to split the screen in half, but once you get over that initial fear, it's super easy to just detach it, pull it slightly forward past the keyboard, and it magnetically attaches to give you a great 45-degree viewing angle that is perfect for viewing content, gaming, and it's actually how I've been editing my photos, and it's called stage mode. Now, of course, I did mention that this is 3 different viewing angles, one of which is just called laptop mode, where you just use it as a standard laptop, but another shock factor is the display actually folds all the way down, and this is called studio mode. I say this in all of my tablet-related videos, but I am not an illustrator, but I do like how this gives you a slight 10-degree tilt up, which makes it great when I'm composing my notes. Now, I am a bit of a display knob, and I'm happy to report that this is a gorgeous display. I usually don't like using Windows laptops to edit my photos because you usually can't trust colors, but this is a vibrant 14.3-inch Pixel Sense touchscreen display that also gives you a 120 Hz refresh rate, which makes it great for using Lightroom when you're using your Surface Pen 2 in stage mode, and it really is an enjoyable experience. It is a 3:2 aspect ratio made of Gorilla Glass to help protect it from scratches, and it reaches up to 500 nits of brightness. It is a glossy display, so it does show reflection pretty easily, but personally, I always prefer a glossy display over a matte one. The Surface Slim Pen 2 is not included with the laptop, but you may already have one from a different Surface device. If you don't, definitely recommend that you add it to your cart at checkout, because it really does add to that Surface experience. It's pretty cool that it just snaps right underneath the underside of your laptop to magnetically charge, and it's a pretty strong connection. iPads do have this with their version of the pencil, but that one you can't exactly trust if you're placing it into a bag or a backpack from staying into place, but with the Surface Slim Pen 2, you certainly can. The keys themselves do feel really great to type on, and they're also backlit, so that's always appreciated, but I must say that the trackpad is super responsive, and you could just click anywhere. I did feel that it was a little bit slow coming out of the box, but after adjusting those settings, it was smooth. But I do wish that the trackpad was actually a little bit bigger. There's certainly enough space right here on the laptop, so it's a shame that they didn't capitalize on that. And I know I should be doing a lot more on this device than just consuming content, but the quad Omnisonic Dolby Atmos speakers on it sounds so good. I basically live on the Microsoft 365 suite for my 9 to 5. The mic, speaker, and the front-facing 1080p webcam made my Teams calls noticeably stand out, so much so that they knew I wasn't using the company device. Again, these speakers sound absolutely great, and it's so impressive because there's no visible speaker grills on the surface of this computer. Microsoft does say this is their most powerful portable Surface ever made. In fact, they say it's twice as fast as last year's model, all thanks to that 13th gen Intel Core i7 processor. Now, I haven't used last year's model, but I've used the latest other Surface products, and I gotta say, yeah, it's faster. Now, the base model does start off with 16 gigabytes of RAM with a storage size of 512. It has an Intel Iris Xe graphics card for around $2,000 US. It does go on sale from time to time, but this can be spec'd all the way up to 64 gigabytes of RAM with 2 terabytes of SSD storage and an NVIDIA GeForce RTX 4060. Now, that's wild, but the price is pretty wild too, because it will surpass you over $3,000, pretty much closer towards that $4,000 mark when you include taxes. But if you need all that power, you'll know it. But I would recommend at least just one spec bump if you are using this for photos and video, so that you could get that dedicated NVIDIA graphics card. I've been using it to edit 61 megapixel photos, so those photo sizes are pretty chunky, and the 16 gigabytes of RAM model does a pretty good job swapping between those Lightroom presets. But if you are editing these types of photos or even video routinely, I would probably even go up to 32 gigabytes of dedicated RAM. I mean, just call it a business expense, right? And we haven't even talked about ports yet, but the only external hardware changes made to the device were the addition of a USB-A as well as micro SD card slot to accompany the 2 Thunderbolt 4 ports, headphone jack, and the Surface Pin connector for charging. Now, I do appreciate the addition of a USB-A port, but would have still rather the USB-C port, even if it was slower speeds, 2.0 or 3.0, but micro SD card slot, was there even a need for that? Again, I edit photos and videos, so a full-size SD card slot would have been ideal. I did download and test out a couple of games to see how it would perform. I downloaded Halo Infinite from the Xbox Store, as well as Horizon Zero Dawn from Steam. Halo Infinite, as you can see, is buttery smooth, and again, colors and sound are incredible. So if you're an Xbox Pass holder, you shouldn't have any issues gaming on this device. It does get a little bit warm, but it's likely that it'll be on a table if you are gaming. Again, really quiet too, but I did get a warning when I was trying to play Horizon, which you can again probably avoid if you do get the RTX NVIDIA model. It still ran and played, but a little choppy, still playable if you're in a pinch. That was even after changing the power mode to best performance, which I do recommend if you're using this laptop for video editing or gaming. But again, the colors are great. Horizon is just a visually stunning game. Battery life on this device has been really good. I do give Windows 11 a little bit of credit for that because I have been noticing it on recent laptops, but it does get me through my workday, and there are other settings that help you conserve your battery life. However, if you are doing anything intensive like video editing or gaming, it just makes the most sense to just plug it in, especially if you have it available to you. Again, a fantastic Surface laptop, and I do anticipate that you'll have it for many, many years, which is why I do have to recommend that you upgrade the graphics card as well as the RAM, because when you do those two things, I think this is when this device will really shine in performance. Now, if your budget doesn't allow for that, go ahead and check out one of their other Surface products. I mean, the Microsoft Surface Laptop 5 is an amazing device at a much lower price tag. There are some compromises, of course. You don't get this really cool form factor or this gorgeous display, but the performance of the device is pretty incredible. Now, I did try to provide insightful information, but if I did miss any of your questions, or if you'd like to see any of the comparison videos, go ahead and leave those down below the like button. And while you're down there, subscribe if you haven't. And until next time, see ya.